This universe is built with perfection. Everything, every distance, every orbit, every number is balanced so precisely that even a 1% change could destroy everything we know. In this cosmic dance, every star follows a rhythm, every planet follows a path, every galaxy follows a law that never breaks, never shifts. The balance is so fragile that a shift smaller than the width of a hair could rewrite the story of life. And today, we ask a terrifying question. What if Earth were just 1% closer to the Sun? 1% sounds small, tiny, almost meaningless. But in the laws of the universe, tiny things create massive consequences. A 1% change is enough to move our world out of the safe zone we depend on. The Arctic would melt at record speed. Coastlines would drown. Cities like Miami, Mumbai, Alexandria, gone underwater. Ice sheets thousands of years old would collapse in a matter of months. The oceans, once calm and predictable, would rise like a slow, unstoppable monster, devouring everything built along their shores. Heat waves would become deadly. Forests would ignite. Animals would vanish. Crops would fail because Earth's perfect balance would be broken, almost nothing. But in space, 1% is the difference between life and a slow global burn. Temperatures worldwide would rise by about 2 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius instantly, not in years, not in decades, immediately. That kind of temperature rise would take humanity back 10,000 years, undoing agriculture, collapsing food systems, and creating climate zones the human body was never designed for. But the danger wouldn't stop there. Your body begins to suffer. Heat stroke becomes common. Your heart works harder. Your brain struggles to cool down. Even at night, the temperature wouldn't drop enough for your organs to recover. Sleep becomes difficult. Your body slowly overheats from the inside. With more solar radiation hitting Earth, the atmosphere would begin to change. Ozone would weaken, UV radiation would spike. Skin cancer, blindness, genetic damage, all increased dramatically. Plants, our oxygen factories, would struggle to survive under extreme radiation. Crops would fail not only from heat, but from sunlight turning into a destructive force. The planet wouldn't just get hotter, it would become more dangerous to live on. Millions wouldn't survive the first summer. Hospitals would overflow, power grids would collapse, food shortages would spread, the global economy would freeze. Wars over resources would begin. With more solar radiation hitting Earth, the atmosphere would begin to change. Ozone would weaken, UV radiation would spike, skin cancer, blindness, genetic damage, all increase dramatically. But the crisis keeps growing. Air conditioners fail, power grids collapse under extreme heat, rivers shrink and entire lakes disappear within months. Deserts expand faster than anything we've ever recorded. Storms become stronger, fueled by hotter oceans. Drought becomes normal. Rain becomes rare, and countries begin to fight over the one thing more precious than oil and water. But this only scratches the surface. Wind patterns would shift, monsoons would fail, tornadoes would grow more violent, hurricanes would become unstoppable giants fueled by overheated ocean waters. The world's coldest regions, Siberia, Alaska, Greenland, would warm so fast that ancient viruses, frozen for tens of thousands of years, could return to life. Wildlife would collapse, birds losing migration paths, coral reefs bleaching to bone-white skeletons, entire ecosystems collapsing like dominoes. Even the soil beneath our feet would begin to die, releasing billions of tons of trapped carbon back into the air, accelerating the crisis further. Agriculture becomes nearly impossible. Wheat fails, corn fails, rice fields dry out, food production declines by 30, 40, 50%. Billions face hunger. Human civilization begins to fracture as the world struggles to adapt to a planet it no longer recognizes. All of this from a tiny 1% change. A reminder that this universe is not random. It is balanced, precise, perfect, and Earth is positioned in the only spot where life can exist. Move it even slightly, and everything falls apart. Imagine that